Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedbuilding video, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. So in today's video I'm going to be building in the world of Newcrest, which is one of the base game worlds, and I'm going to be building a classic family suburban home. So this house is built on a 30 by 20 lot, and I really wanted to sit down and build something that had a lot of family gameplay in it, because in my own personal gameplay I like to play with a lot of families, and I just wanted to create just this one house that had so many different activities in it. Long story short, your Sims aren't going to get bored if your Sims live here, because there is so much for them to do. It looks deceiving because it's only on a 30 by 20 lot, but you'll see it as we get further into the video. There is so many different gameplay opportunities in this house, and I'm just so happy with it. And the back garden as well in this house, not joking, probably my favourite back garden that I've ever done. I just absolutely love this house, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with you guys. So hopefully you guys like it as well. So this house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. I designed the rooms to be for a set of parents. There is a toddler's room, and then there is also a children's room which has 2 of the new bunk beds that we actually got in the Dream Home Decorator pack. There is a full-blown activity room in this house as well, which I absolutely love. I really like doing activity rooms because there's so many different objects in the game which are really fun to play with, but are also really difficult to place in normal kind of houses. And I created a garage. As you can see on the left hand side, I just placed down the garage mural which we actually got from City Living. Now I've actually got that on both the outside and the inside of the garage, and your Sims can obviously spray graffiti on it. We've also got some gym equipment in the garage. We've got the woodworking table. We've got the candle making station. Now I don't know what voiceover it was, but I remember saying in a video that I really want to start using the candle making station a lot more in my builds, because in my own personal gameplay my Sims make a lot of candles, but I never seem to place it in builds. But it's in this build. There is also washing machine and tumble dryers in the garage as well, which to be fair aren't actually that exciting, but to me having washing machine and tumble dryers and little hoovers or vacuums, whatever you want to call them, for your Sims to do all the chores and stuff, just my type of gameplay to a T. But as well as that, in the back garden there is a sandbox, which I'm so excited about because I've built sandboxes before in builds, but I haven't actually built one in quite a long time. There's a sandbox so the toddler and the children can make sand castles. There's also monkey bars and swings and the toddler slide, and honestly there is so much gameplay in this house, and I'm just very, very excited about it. Can you tell? Also, there's a home office, and then there's obviously the kind of generic lounge, kitchen and whatnot. There is also a walk-in wardrobe in this house as well. The parents' room has the walk-in wardrobe. I kind of designed one using the new stuff that we got from the latest game pack. But anyway, moving on from that and actually talking about the latest expansion pack trailer which we got yesterday, which I'm so excited for. The Sims 4 Cottage Living expansion pack. I don't think I've ever been as excited for this new expansion pack that I have been for any other pack. Like, this beats Seasons for me, this beats Cats and Dogs, and that's saying something because they are some core expansion packs for any of the Sims games. This kind of pack is right up my street. I just love it, and I've wanted farming, like a proper farming pack in the game for so long. Not even just in The Sims 4, in The Sims 3 and The Sims 2. I love my Sims being able to garden and collect fresh ingredients to make like pies into or make their dinner with, and it's just right up my street. We're getting chicken with chicken coops and baby chickens, or chicks. We're also getting bunnies and llamas, wild foxes and cows. Now we have actually got foxes technically in the game with Cats and Dogs, but it's basically like a dog, but it's like a different breed of a dog, and I don't think I've ever seen a fox roaming around Brenton Bay, if I'm being honest with you. So to me, we haven't really got foxes, but we're getting wild foxes that will actually interact with the chicken coop, like they'll try and get into the chicken coop. We've also got bunnies. Your Sims can befriend bunnies. We've also got the milking of a cow ability. Your Sims can milk cows. I believe you can also get flavoured milk. By the way, side note, I was literally up until around about 2:30 this morning just going through Twitter and looking at Sim Guru Romeo's Twitter, I think it was, just reading everything that I could about this pack. Normally, it's funny because normally I'm like, oh, I just kind of want to save it for myself and I don't want to look at it because I don't want to spoil it. I can't. With this expansion pack, I just need to know all the information about it because I'm just so excited for it. But I was going through Sim Guru Romeo's Twitter last night trying to just compile loads of different information into my head, and yeah, it's so exciting. With milking the cows, I believe you can get flavoured milk as well, which is quite cool. You can also get llama wool, which I absolutely love. We're also getting a bunch of new harvestables coming to the game, like pumpkins and watermelons and aubergines, which is eggplants, literally the exact same thing. And there's also apparently a fair which comes to town once a week, I think it was, and you can have pie and vegetable and even chicken competitions. Who's got the biggest vegetable? I'm assuming who's got the best chicken. I don't know, I've never participated in a chicken competition myself, but we've got this new thing which is Finchwick Fair, I think it's called. We also have a new simple living challenge, which again, my thing to a T. Your Sims can basically fully live off the land and make recipes using all the different things that your Sims actually have in their inventory. So say if your Sims got a spinach farm, for instance, your Sims can make a lot of different things with just spinach. But say if you needed to make a carrot pie, I don't know, let's just go with it. Say if your Sims wanted to make a carrot pie, I don't even know if that's a thing, but your Sims won't be able to if they don't have the ingredients, which I love. Again, I love getting my Sims to try and actually use fresh ingredients for their food. There is also grocery stalls coming, and your Sims can actually have groceries delivered to their door, which I just, honestly, my heart with this pack, I could sit here and talk for a good, like, half an hour to 45 minutes just about this pack, just off a 2-minute trailer. I'm just very excited about it. But we're also getting some canning as well, which I think is actually tied in to the cooking skill. I don't think it's a separate skill from cooking. I think it's actually all in one. Now, the trailer didn't actually show much about that, but if you noticed in the trailer, because you best believe I went through the trailer shot by shot and just tried to look at everything and every single scene that was in the trailer. But if you actually notice, if you do that in the trailer, there's little kind of like jars of what seems to be like jam or something, and some of them have aubergines on them. I think I noticed one with a pumpkin on them as well, which is really exciting. We are also getting ponds in The Sims 4. This is just revolutionary because we haven't had ponds in The Sims 4 yet, and now we can actually, by the looks of it anyway, looks like we can design our own ponds using, I'm assuming, terrain manipulation, and we can add water into them. Hopefully we can make them really deep or really shallow. I hope there's not kind of like a limit on like the depth of the pond. They look interactable because in a screenshot that I saw, there was actually a kid kind of like wandering into the water. Now, I'm not sure if this kid was about to go for a swim or if this Sim was just having a little bit of a splash about. Either way, I liked that they're interactable. There was also ducks swimming in the ponds. I'm assuming that because this was the only kind of mention of them so far, I'm assuming they're just for decoration and they're not actually ducks that your Sims can interact with. I'm still happy with that though. Just the idea that there is ducks in my Sims ponds in the back garden, I absolutely love that. But anyway, moving on from that and actually getting back to this build and talking about this build, because I am really excited about this build, but I'm also very excited about the new expansion pack. But anyway, as you can see, I'm currently going around the back garden now and adding some outdoor lighting. So the house is beautifully lit up of a night time. In the back garden, I think the reason why it's my favourite is because it's kind of put into sections. So the whole entire house is built on platforms. So what I actually did is I originally built it on a small wall height, and then I actually moved up to a medium wall height, but then I actually used platforms on the outside of the house for kind of like a wraparound porch. And then I did it to the 3rd platform height, so I moved up 3 times, and then when I actually went onto the inside I did the exact same thing, so it was the same level. So even though technically this house on the bottom half is a medium wall height, it doesn't seem like it because the way that I've raised the platforms up. You can kind of see it here that I've actually now moved on into the lounge room. The wallpaper that I've actually used is the wallpaper from Parenthood. Now normally the wooden panels will take up a good portion of the bottom of the wall, but because it was built on a platform, it makes it look like them panellings are actually just a trim, which I actually really like. But yeah, the whole entire thing is built on platforms. Now when it comes to the back garden, I really wanted to section it off so there's an area for summer barbecues, maybe throw a few parties. There is also some plant boxes. The ones I use are from Debug if you're curious, and then you can kind of walk down these little steps and it's kind of got the children's play area. So we've got the sandbox with the monkey bars and the toddler slide and, you know, the swing set. There is also the laundry day like washing line as well, so if it's a really hot day and your Sims want to save a few simoleons on their electricity bill, they can just hang their washing out outside and let it just dry in the summer breeze. The screenshots that I actually took for the back garden are just so pretty. I'm excited for you to see them alongside with all the other screenshots of the rest of the house. You can see all the bedrooms and all the clutter items in all the rooms. I really did go to town with cluttering up all of the bedrooms and also the garage, and I just absolutely love this this house, and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you guys. But anyway, moving from that, as you would have seen, I have actually already done the lounge room and also the little hallway entrance as your Sims are walking through the front door. Now in the lounge room, I used the new sectional sofas that we actually got from the latest game pack, but I didn't use them as sectional sofas because the way that the floor plan worked out, it was just a bit odd. I couldn't put it this way, I couldn't put a 2-tile archway leading into the lounge because it would have been blocked up by one of the sofas, and so I actually had to do it so it's a 2-seater and then a 3-seater sofa, which I really like with the new sectionals, because say if you've got a space that would fit a 4-tile sofa perfectly, I don't think we've got any 4-tile sofas, just make one with the sectionals. I love the new sectional sofas, and they come in some really nice swatches as well. But also in the lounge room we do have a fireplace, we have a bookcase, a TV. I actually also used one of the new like kind of lounges, is that what you can term them as? It's actually one of the armchairs, but it's kind of got like a long, like, what's it even called? I don't know what it's called, but basically your Sims can sit there and put their feet up. I use one of them in the lounge room as well, just in front of the windows with a little plant. There is also a toy box there and a teddy bear, because I wanted this house to have a lot of family gameplay like I've mentioned, and I didn't want the gameplay just to be tied to the children's rooms. And so there is obviously the back garden, which has just kind of got a kids section in the back garden itself. And then in the lounge room as well, I wanted to include the toy box, which is from Parenthood, which isn't actually something that your Sims can interact with, but it looks really nice as decorations. And then the teddy bear as well, which I did actually size down, but it's still usable. I do actually want to mention that I have playtested this whole entire house. Like always, I playtest all of my houses before I upload them onto the gallery. I ran into a couple of problems when I came through to playtesting it. So one of the problems that I ran into was in the lounge room, there is a big coffee table. I used one of the new ones, and it was just too close to the fireplace, so my Sim couldn't actually light the fire. All I had to do was just smidge it a bit, and then it worked absolutely fine. And then the other two things that don't work in this house, which I'm actually not too fussed of them not working. One of them was the basketball hoop that I actually placed at the front of the house on top of the garage, in like by the car area at the very front. Now I actually just placed that purely for decoration. I didn't actually place it in my head to be an actual usable object. The only reason it doesn't work though is because I actually moved objects it up, because otherwise it was going to be clipping into the garage. If you do want to download this house and you do actually want that to be usable, all I would say is just put move objects on and then press the 0 key to move objects it back down to its original height, and then it should work absolutely fine. And then the last issue that I ran into was in the lounge room. I actually used a Seasons bookcase, which originally is actually set to a medium wall height, but if you size it down you can get it to fit in a small. Now it used to actually work when you used to size it down, but recently when I've been sizing it down it doesn't seem to work. But it doesn't actually work in the lounge room, but it's fine because there is actually multiple different bookcases in this house. And when I actually got my Sim to come around and playtest that particular bookcase, my Sim just walked to another bookcase, so your Sims can still read to their heart's content. There is still loads of different options and different places for your Sims to put their books away and to grab books from. But apart from that, everything else works fine. So when you download it off the gallery, if you do decide to, you won't run into any problems. Also to note, there is actually the new gameplay kind of tent that we got with the Dream Home Decorator pack. It's one of the only new items that we actually got from the build and buy, which is actually interactable and your Sims can actually do something with, because obviously we've got loads of different counters and beds and sofas, but they all work the same as other beds and sofas and stuff. We actually got a new tent with the new game pack, and I also used it, but I sized it down. If you're curious, don't worry, it works perfectly fine. I play tested it with both a toddler and a child, and then both a toddler and a child at the same time, so it works. And yeah, but anyway, moving on from that, as you would have seen, I've already decorated now the kitchen, the dining room, and also the little study area, and now I've actually just moved on and I've started furnishing the garage. So in the kitchen I used the new counters that we got in the game pack, as well as the new hob and the new oven. I really like that we've now got detachable hobs from ovens, so you could have a hob on a different counter compared to where the oven is. My only one critique though is the fact that we can't actually have the hob placed on top of the oven. I would really like to see that patched in so we can actually do that, but I really like the way the kitchen turned out. I actually do go back at the very end of the video. I'm not sure, I can't remember if I kept the footage in, but I did actually go back at the very end and just add a few more like clutter pieces and decorations, because the whole entire kids' rooms and the garage especially are so cluttered, as well as this. In fact, the whole entire house is very cluttered. I wanted it to be very realistic because I do really like making my Sims houses look realistic. But when I actually came back at the end, I realised that the kitchen wasn't as lived in as the rest of the house. And so I did actually go back in and just add a few more decorations, clutch it up a little bit more. In the dining room, I used the new dining room table and the new chairs. Them chairs, I've got a very positive relationship with. I love the new dining room chairs. We actually got 3, I think. But the ones that I've used, I just know I'm going to use them everywhere. I just love them so much. And then off the little dining room, there is actually the home office. I wasn't really sure of what the parents in this household would do in terms of their jobs, but I still wanted there to be a home office regardless. I thought it would be a really nice place for maybe one of the parents to sit down and read some parenting forms, or maybe find some new recipes, or maybe even some new like gardening things, maybe order some like new seeds or something. There is a home office, as you would have seen. It is very cluttered, and now I have actually moved on and I've started furnishing the garage. Now I don't actually remember how long the whole house took me to build, but this garage alone took me 34 minutes. It's funny, I actually remember it to the minute. It took me 34 minutes exactly just to do this one garage. It did take me quite a while. As you can see, I am cluttering it up quite a lot. So I actually went through the debug menu and the live edit menu, and I pulled out so many different tools and plumbing parts and gardening stuff and maps and, you know, like seesaw? No, what are they called? You know what I'm talking about. The thing that you use to cut wood is literally right there in the middle. I've just moved it. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. Loads of different tools and stuff that you would normally find in a garage. And then in this garage as well, there is the garage mural, which your Sims can actually spray graffiti on. I was very pleasantly surprised that when I actually came around to placing it, that again, it works completely fine. And also on the outside as well, your Sims can spray some graffiti. Maybe if you wanted to do like a generations thing in this family home, then you could probably get the children to age up. Maybe you've got a really rebellious child and they just graffiti the parents' garage all the time. I actually did imagine the children to be quite mischievous. I imagine one of them to be like a class clown, like really funny, always putting pranks, and so maybe that's what they'll age up into. But as you can see, also in this garage, I do also have the tumble dryers, I have some bikes, I have the energy saver thing that we've got from Eco Lifestyle. There is also the little fake ironing board and the broom, and also the hoover, the candle making station, the boxing bag. There's also the decoration boxes the decoration box from Seasons. I thought, what a more perfect place to fit in. I also added in some snowboards and some skiing equipment, as well as like jackets and gloves and hats and stuff. So I actually used one of the shelves that we got from, I think it was Strangerville, and it's kind of like a bunker shelf, and it just fits so perfectly into garages. But I actually moved objects, this item which we got from Snowy Skates, that looks like it's got loads of different snowboards and ski equipment onto it, just above it, so it looks like that this is where this family keeps their ski and snowboard equipment. Maybe I was kind of thinking that maybe every single winter the whole family goes to Mount Comarebi for a few days and just has a skiing and snowboarding holiday. I don't know if I've mentioned, by the way, I think I was just so excited about the new expansion pack, but this house is going to be for my save file. I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but it is going to be for my save file. I didn't create as much of an in-depth backstory like I normally do for all of the different families that are going to be in my save, but I was kind of thinking that maybe they just have some generic jobs. Maybe one parent is maybe like in the business career, or maybe a salary person, maybe another parent is a teacher, or maybe a lawyer or something. And then the children, like I said, I imagine them to be quite naughty and pull a lot of pranks, class clowns. And the toddler's a toddler. I've actually moved on to the toddler's room, as you can see. That's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, anyway, I did actually quickly want to mention before I forget, I did actually end up cutting out some of the footage of me going around in the garage and actually adding more decorations. Funnily enough, surprisingly, there wasn't enough for my liking when I was furnishing it, but I do actually add so many different cobwebs and kind of like scratches onto the walls, and I actually add some of the cobwebs which actually have spiders in them. And so when it actually comes around to the screenshots, you'll be able to notice that in some of the corners there's these little tiny spiders, which I just thought was such a nice touch to this house. But anyway, moving on from that, as you would have seen, I've now moved on to the upstairs, already done the bathroom, and like I've just said, I am actually now currently furnishing the toddler's room. Now there is actually 3 bathrooms in this house, like I've mentioned. I only show the furnishing for one though. Same scenario as all of my videos. It's just a bit boring showing the furnishings but every single bathroom. Plus they're pretty much the exact same. Toilet, sink, bathtub and a shower. laundry basket, and then a toddler potty as well. There is one bathroom downstairs, which is just a toilet and a sink, and then there is two on the upstairs level, which are fully just like a full bathroom. The whole shebang is in there. But in this toddler's room, I just love the way it came together. I went for quite a pink and peach theme in here. I used the bed, which is from Eco Lifestyle, and then the new armchair that we actually got from the Dream Home Decorator pack just goes so nicely with the swatch of the bed that I actually use. I just love the little toddler's room. But as you can see, now I've actually moved on into the child's bedroom. Well, I mean, I say child, but it's actually children because there is 2 beds in this room. If you wanted to, and you wanted to have some massive family, you can actually delete the desks underneath the bed and just make it so this room actually sleeps 4 Sims. But I just imagined it to be for 2 Sims. Now, in here, I did use quite a lot of the new stuff that we got from the Dream Home Decorator pack. Again, with the rest of the house, actually, I had so much fun just going through this whole entire pack and exploring it. All of the new clutter items, I just love the shoes and the little wall hangings of all the clothes and the different swatches of the clothes and the new storage boxes, and it's just my cup of tea. Like, really is my cup of tea. But in this room, like I said, I really wanted this whole entire house to be a lot of family gameplay orientated, and so I wanted to include basically everything that your kids can do, or the children in The Sims 4 can do, is in this house. So we have dolls houses, we have toy boxes, we also have the science table, the drawing table, the void crotter station. Thinking about it, that is a lie because I didn't include the puppet station, which we got from Kids Room Stuff. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure I've used everything else that children can actually use in The Sims 4. There is actually one of the little Dr. Teddy bears on the outside in the sandbox as well, and then obviously we've got all of like the monkey bars and whatnot. And yeah, there's a lot of child gameplay in this house, which I just really like. And if you have any children in your Sims household, I feel like they're probably going to really enjoy living here because there is so much to do. As you can see, I did go to town with all the cluttering and all the different decorations that went into this room. I had spent so long going through the debug menu and finding all these different collectibles and just all these little bits and pieces that I felt like would fit in so perfectly into this children's room. We have some gaming like controllers, which maybe like a PlayStation or an Xbox controller. We have some of the school projects that your Sims can actually make. I placed down a robot in here, and I believe I actually placed down a rocket into the corner as well at the end. I was thinking maybe they were past projects that they've done in school. There is also like headphones, and just there is so much. Air horns as well. Like I said, I imagine these kids to be quite naughty, and so they're going to be pulling pranks with air horn and putting it in someone's face. I don't think that'll be very pleasant, but this is the kind of Sims that I imagine would be sleeping in this room. Now, I did also just place down the box which we got from City Living, where your Sims can normally find around the city of San Moschino and look for snow globes. But when I actually came round to, I think it was doing the parents' bedroom, I actually switched it out to be a laundry basket because I did want there to be a laundry basket in there, and so I decided to switch it. There isn't a laundry basket in the toddler's room. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could just add one in, but I didn't feel like it was necessary as there is one in the bathroom. But then I also did place one into the parents' bedroom, which I've actually now moved on to. I had so much fun playing around with the new wardrobe system. It's so good because you can basically manipulate it to be however you want. So say if you wanted a whole entire wall just dedicated to shoes and having loads of little shoe cubes, you could do that. If you wanted a whole wall just dedicated to hanging clothes, you could do that. If you wanted a corner system like what I've done over here, you can do that. I really like it. The only one thing that I don't like about all of the new furniture, or just kind of like the cabinets in the furniture and the wardrobe system, is there is not a completely plain black swatch, which really annoys me. There's a plain white swatch, but there's no plain black. There is a black and dark grey, but it's not completely black. So I mean, I highly doubt it, but I'd love to see that be added to the game because I just would really like a plain black swatch, and I feel like it would go in so many different houses. I mean, all the swatches that we got will go in a lot of different houses, but I would have appreciated a nice plain black swatch. But anyway, as you can see, I'm just finishing up that little wardrobe system over in the corner. In there, we've got loads of different shoes and loads of different swatches, and we've got storage boxes, which I imagine maybe loads of different scarves and hats and stuff are kept in. And then we obviously got the hanging clothes. And then I'm just going to finish off this room by adding in this little dressing table, which is from Vintage Glamour Stuff, and then just going in and just decorating it with some makeup palettes and eyeshadow brushes and all the different things that just make it feel a little bit more lived in and realistic. But anyway guys, I am actually going to end this voiceover here, so as always you can download this build via the gallery. My origin ID is JessicapieYT, or you can just search for the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you do like my content then please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speed building video. Bye guys.